What's going on? All you incredible internet weirdos that I love so much that I call my viewers to be named later. How are we doing today? Yeah, it's a little weird around here. Okay, as you know by the thumbnail, the title, everything else, this is one of these step-parent and life vlog crossovers. I think I'm going to call this one, What Happened to Our Schools? We've been having, this is about the only way I could put it, some bad experiences here in my home with the brat at her school. Not that she's acting out or she's getting in trouble. Things have been happening to her that make me sit and go, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. And this all leads into a whole bunch of other stuff. Like in school systems where kids are getting groomed, school systems where kids are getting abused. I mean, come on. Like the stuff coming out about Buffalo Public Schools. If you stuff my daughter in a bathroom and turn off the light to give her quote-unquote a quiet cool-down time, you're going to answer to me. But where this all comes into play is you're supposed to go to school. You're supposed to feel safe and secure. Now, granted, you cannot stop stupid people from doing stupid things. Okay, you just can't. This is not the Minority Report. You can't legislate evil out of somebody. All right? You're supposed to go there, feel safe, feel secure, get an education. You get a lunch. You hang out with some people. You have a good social, not experiment, but social interaction. Look, I'm not dumb. I know you're not going to get along with everybody. Okay? I literally, in my will in my high school yearbook, I leave, my high school, all the great times I never had. Maybe somebody can use them. High school, flat out, was the worst experience of my life. Okay, it was. Honestly, it made joining the military really simple, but that's another story. So lately, the brat has gone to school, and things have been happening to her. And this is a little tough for me to talk about, because she's sitting, over there, eating breakfast. And I don't want you feeling like I'm putting you on the spot, okay?
I don't mind.
Well, she said she doesn't mind, so let's make this a little easier. She's never really had an incident whatsoever. As I've stated in previous videos, my daughter has come out. Her classmates have been really accepting. Everything's been beautiful. But recently, this student in her class, which, if you step outside my front door, which is right there, 6 feet away, take a right turn, she lives 100 feet away. This is a problematic student, and it's been a very problematic racial person in my apartment complex. She has said derogatory things at people. They have her on camera throwing rocks at adults and just other stuff. Now, I've raised my kids to look at the person, accept the person for who they are, and try to love them for who they are. My kids have never really had a problem with other students. And that's even including the monkey at his worst points when he was the problem kid in the class. Some people tried to help him, and I'm proud of that. This problematic student and the brat were doing a project together. Okay, cool. As long as you're treating my kid with respect, I have no issue. Less than 2 weeks ago, I think it was, this student's parents bought McDonald's for everyone in the house and made my daughter come home and ask if it was okay because they weren't going to buy for their kids if one kid couldn't have it. And I'm like, okay, well, eat off the dollar menu. Go cheap, all right? And she's like, I got you, Dad. Then I inquired about her project. I was like, so what's going on? Why aren't you going over there? She's like, oh, we kind of had a falling out. Okay. My daughter was seeing some of the stuff going on and some of the things at school that were happening. She went, I don't want to be associated with it. Which I can say, okay, because why would you want to be associated with trouble? You don't. Because you're judged by the company you keep, right? And if you want to excel in this world, you can't hang around people who are going to drag you down for their own amusement. Now, I preface that by going, I love making fun of Jersey Joe. He makes fun of me back. I love making fun of Beard of the North. He makes fun of me back. But nothing has ever been malicious and no lines have ever been crossed. So I'm all for that good-natured ball breaking of your good friends. That's perfectly okay. I mean, that's kind of how you show people you cared in the military. You sprinkled F-bombs everywhere. That way you're like, oh, he's yelling at me, but he cares about me. So they had a falling out. Now here's where the problem starts. My kids have cell phones. The cuteness factor doesn't yet, but will be soon. They text me when they arrive at school, and they text me when they're on the way home from school. Because they really haven't grasped a huge concept of stranger danger. And it also gives me this time frame that I know the school is like a 10-minute walk away, so I should expect whatever. So I get a text message from the brat that says, I need help when I get home. Somebody put gum on my coat. Okay. Somebody took a wad of gum and smeared it in her coat at school.
That was the sticky kind.
That's because it was recently chewed.
Yeah. Stuff.
So we were able to get that out. Okay. Then she comes home 2 days later and says somebody smeared gum into my umbrella. Now I'm starting to get pissed. I'm starting to get beyond pissed. And trust me, this video was going to go a much different way. It really was. So I start asking Amber, well, who's doing it? Who's what? And I'm thinking they're sitting in like rows and desks. And I'm like, okay, so if you're right here, there's 8 people around you who knows what's going on. And I'm so tired of this snitches get stitches BS. If you are degrading my daughter and smearing gum on her and you think that's comical, you're part of the problem as well, and you need an attitude adjustment. If it was my kids smearing gum on people, this would be an entirely different video. It really, really would. I'm just going to leave it just like that for right now, okay? She goes, I don't know, but I think it's this person. Which would make sense, the person she had a falling out with. She can't prove it because she didn't see it because she's absorbed in her schoolwork. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to give you that. I'm proud of you for that. You're really dedicated to your schoolwork. You're doing this. This is perfect. But here's the topper for me, okay? And this is where this video was going to go entirely different. She's got a bright pink coat that she loves. And it's one of those very, I don't want to say porous, but you know that nylon that absorbs ink really well? She left the class to go turn in an assignment in another room. And when she had come back, oh, it's going to be books. When she came back, somebody drew a dick on her hood. Big one. That enraged me. And for those of you who know me, I did the smartest thing I could do. I got a hold of my better half. I sent her the picture. I went, you're dealing with this now, because if I deal with it, it's going to turn into a criminal charge. I know myself. You are now vandalizing my children. That's the only way I can look at it. You don't get to do that, period. I was getting ready to light up the school district because, remember, this is the same school district who flat out lied to me about them canceling everything for a high school just because there was an incident that, per their policy, they can't talk about, but they felt it's safe to cancel every single fucking event that day. But it had nothing to do with ice being in the area, which it broke 48 hours later that ice was in the area. So this is the same school district that lied to me about it. And I'm like, so my daughter is getting vandalized in your classroom, and nobody knows nothing. Nobody saw nothing. Nope. I got the person who did it and 7 other little people that I want to hold accountable. So that's what the big thing with this video is what's happening in our school system. Because I remember growing up, that never happened. And I don't want to hear about classroom overcrowding, okay? Because we had moral right and wrong, and should you draw on people, should you not? Should you deface property, should you not? I remember the worst words I ever heard in school were, I need to call your mother after school. Because I knew by the time I was going to get home, I was going to get an ass whooping. But here's what kind of saved part of this, and I'm still pressing this issue because my daughter deserves to feel safe in school. I don't care who you are. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what nationality you are. It doesn't give you the right to do what you're doing. It doesn't. But here's the part that I think really saved the school district right now. And I'm trying to leave this alone unless there's another incident. And I'll get to this in a moment. My daughter's teacher asked her what her coat size was because he felt horrible that that happened on his watch, and he went out and bought her a brand new coat. He didn't have to. He wasn't asked to. He did it on his own. So for that, I want to say kudos, good on you. But the problem that I'm having is, if it's actually the student we think it is, why is this okay? Because the student is a photo negative of my daughter. If it had been my daughter doing this to her, we'd be facing hate crime charges right now. And I'm not being all racial up in here. We know this is truthful. We know that's exactly what would be going on. But what is going on inside our school systems nowadays? Have parents just degraded themselves that far that they can't teach simple, basic things about being good to each other? I don't like what's going on with tribal politics and everything else. I don't like the fact that, I make this joke with my kids, we're white, we can't be right about anything. Because anytime I turn on the TV, I'm getting blamed for everything under the sun. Because I'm a white male. Kind of tired of that too. Oh, this video's getting off the rails, but still. I want your guys' opinions on this stuff. Seriously, leave some comments down below. How would you handle something like this? Like gum being smeared on you? Dicks being drawn on your jacket? How would you handle that if that was your kid coming home? Because I'm trying to take the high road. I really, really am. It's getting harder and harder. It really truly is, because how many times do I have to keep turning the other cheek when it's like, you know what's going on. You're living in fear in junior high of a female who has allegedly stated, my goal is to steal as much stuff as possible so I can go to juvenile hall and be with my boyfriend. Because, yeah, that really happens, that you get locked up and they have intramural sports where you guys get to have fun behind the lockers, right? Like I said, I'd like to know. Leave me your comments down below. Okay, I know this is a weird one. I'm beyond frustrated because I'm like, I know how I would handle things, but that would be a hate crime. I don't have actual proof, and nobody's talking about anything because everyone's like, I didn't see nothing. I didn't see nothing. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Nope, I don't know nothing. But the part that I find funny is the student who we firmly believe is doing this has been absent from school since the dick was drawn on my daughter's fucking hood. She's been absent every day since. Because every morning my daughter goes off to school and I'm like, please have a good day. Please don't let this happen. Please don't let that happen. Like I said, I want your comments down below. We're not going to do the little YouTube things. I had to make this video because it's really eating at me going, am I doing the right thing as a parent by trying to take the high road? Yeah, the angry side of me is telling me I'm an idiot. But the one that's trying to teach my kids to be better than who I was, I'm trying to let that side win. I want to thank you guys for watching this one. Hopefully you're having a good day today.